So what's next for your toy design journey? You've got your design done, and we've talked about prototyping, and you've likely done that. So where do we go from here? I guess we just start jumping in and creating some stuff. Now, again, I know not everyone is creating a stuffed animal-like creature, but since that's what I'm doing, it's basically what I have to show you. So as we're looking over the design, my favorite part to start with is going to be the head. So let's do that. So as I fly through the sculpting process, some of the things that you might miss are those tools. What you might not be aware of is most of those tools I created myself. Now, a lot of artists create their own tools, especially sculpting tools, so this is nothing new. But what it did do is it saved me probably $30 to $50 in tools, which is money that I could spend somewhere else on something more important, like silicone. I mean, it goes without saying, any way you can save money on your project, do so. There is no bigger scam perpetrated on artists or the artistic community than the manufacturing and selling of these fucked up waste of material tools. Rather than spend $15 on a rake tool, make it yourself. Both of them are going to break on you. One of them came from stuff that you had laying around the house, while the other one cost you $15. There are few exceptions to this, and I'm going to say one of those are those little ball tools that you can get to help you smoothen things out. It will literally cost you more time and aggravation to create those yourself, so that's a tool that you can probably confidently invest your money. It's also a good idea at this point to start recording how much time you're actually putting into creating this. Now, I sculpt pretty fast, and I think I knocked out this Minotaur head in probably about 3 or 4 hours. You want to make sure that you capture the cost of the work that you've done. So what I'll do is I'll add all that time up, I'll figure out a rate that I want to make, and then I'll divide that by the number of characters that I want to sell to pay for the sculpting, to pay for the mold making, to pay for the patterning. So let's make the math really easy. Now imagine for a minute that all that work and materials cost about $500 to complete, and you want the first 100 characters that you sell to cover that cost. That works out to about $5 a character. So whatever dollar value that you charge for your character or your toy, you want that $5 per character to be reflected in that. So it's more than just a markup percentage that you want to tag on for the cost of your character. You want to make sure that that tooling that you created is paid for as well. And once you've sold those 100 characters that paid for your tooling, that additional money then becomes profit, because you're not going to reduce the price of your character by $5 because the tooling is paid off. You're going to keep the $5 in there, and it just becomes part of the profit. You really want to start thinking about your mold while you're sculpting, because whatever you're going to use to cast the piece, like if you want a solid resin piece like I'm about to cast, I know that I need a flexible mold, and that's a silicone mold. If you have more of a flexible piece that you want to use, say you want to use latex, then you need a rigid mold for that, and you're probably going to use something like plaster. Now, the reason why you want to be thinking about this while you're sculpting is because you're probably going to be thinking about how many mold pieces you need. Maybe you need a 3 or a 4-part mold to escape any undercut issues. And these are all a whole different aspect of it. But you're thinking about that because you probably want to hide lines in there where, the divide line, or what we call the case line of the mold, can be disguised in maybe the design. Did I mention that this is going to be a lot of work?